Today I'm going to show you how to dehydrate fresh raspberries. I like to buy these in bulk when they're on sale, and then I can use them throughout the year for like my oatmeal, my granola, baking, and things like that. So raspberries are a little bit more delicate. I don't like to necessarily wash them all at one time because they can get bruised. So I'll usually just put like 1 or 2 containers into my colander, and I will just rinse a little bit at a time. And then I will put it out onto my drying mat. Now I happen to have a Excalibur which has heat coming in from the side, so it doesn't really matter where the raspberries are. However, if you're doing a different type of dehydrator where the heat is actually coming from the bottom and you have like trays that you put on top, in that case you would actually want to take the time and take all of your raspberries and lay them with the hole facing down, so that way the air coming up will get into the inside of the berries a little bit better. So again, for mine, Excalibur, since they come from the side, it won't really matter. So I'm just going to lay out all my berries. On my Excalibur, the dehydrator trays just slide right into the tracks. Gonna put all of our raspberries in there, and then we're gonna cover it up and then turn on our dehydrator. To dehydrate the raspberries, we're gonna set our temperature for 130 degrees, and you want to dehydrate them between 20 to 24 hours. I do tend to prefer to do more towards 24. That way they get really nice and dry and crispy. On my Excalibur dehydrator, it actually has a timer, so I can set it for 24 hours and then it will go off. I can check to make sure that they are dehydrated enough, or whether I need to put them in for longer. When checking on your raspberries, they should be very firm to the touch. They should feel dry. When you bite into it, they'll have a crispy texture. You should not feel any moisture at all. We just turned the hydrator off, so they are still warm. You want to let them cool for about a half hour before we put them into our containers, so that no moisture gets trapped, which will create mold. So we're going to let it sit for about a half hour. I like to use a canning funnel on my jar to make it easier to scoop my items into the jar. I will smooth my hand along the mesh gently so that I can kind of detach the raspberries from the mesh, and then we're going to lift up on the mesh and just drop them right into our jar. Once you've filled up your jar, I like to use an oxygen absorber for long-term storage, and then we're going to put the lid on. Don't forget to label it so you know what's inside, as well as the date that you dehydrated it, so that way you can rotate your pantry better.